When you take over a country torn apart by years of civil war and an unemployment rate of 85%, you might be overwhelmed as to where to start. For Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, the recently elected president of Liberia, the answer is clear. We sat down with the first female elected head of state on the African continent to ask her about her vision for Liberia and her priorities for the country.
And we want to move from being an exporter of primary commodities to be able to add value to that, and that means starting the process of industrialization. I see scope for that first in the agro-processing area, and then subsequently, of course, in other commodities. That's a challenge because we want to see that come out of a private sector initiative, and that means creating the environment to attract private capital, private investment. So we've got to get our policy framework right in that respect, so that we can have a growth-oriented, but growth with, with a focus on addressing poverty at the same time. We've got to restore our infrastructure, which have all been damaged over the many years of conflict, and of course, with human resources to have the skills that are required to attract private capital and investment. But certainly, we intend to do that. It may take us a few years to move toward, an industrial orientation of our economy. But we're already doing it in some of our traditional products like rubber, where we still continue to export rubber in its raw forms or have semi-processed forms. Certainly, Liberia should, by this stage, be producing rubber-based products, in a finished way, whether they're gloves or balls or condoms or whatever have you. And we're going to be working with the companies involved in those sectors to make sure that they have a clear program that will lead us in that direction. Education is the priority. We're talking about many of our war-affected youth being put back into schools and into training programs to reduce their vulnerability and to make up for the time lost when they've been involved in some 14 years of conflict. We're also talking about the loss of educational facilities, and this has meant many of our very young children of primary school age have never been to school, and so in order that we can recover and secure our future, we've got to make sure that education becomes the #1 priority.